What is going on, guys? So I told myself that I wouldn't be doing any more like sitting down talking videos, and so I'm not. All right, I'm outside. I'm just kind of riding my one wheel around, but I did really want to make a video about the new camera lens that I just bought. So I posted it on my Instagram story. A lot of you guys saw it. I got a lot of questions about it, surprisingly, and it's something that I've only had for a couple of days. I've only been able to use it a few times, but it is already my favorite lens. And that is the Sigma 85mm Art Series lens f1.4. Now, if you guys know me, I buy everything used. All of my camera gear I buy used just because of how expensive it is. So everything I have is I bought from somebody else, or I've bought it on eBay or something of that sort. And on top of that, almost all of my lenses that I have are f4. So I have the 16-35 f4, 24-105 f4, 70-200 f4. And so I decided that I was going to save up a little bit more money and go for something with a little bit of a with a bigger aperture. So I found somebody who was selling a Sigma lens for a Canon mount, so I had to spring on it and I bought it, and I got it for a really good price. And normally it wouldn't be a huge deal, you know, it's just a camera lens, really cool, but nothing too exciting. But I wanted to make a video of it to not only, you know, tell you guys about it and just kind of answer a whole bunch of questions that people had about it, but also to kind of remind myself that just spending a little bit extra money and saving up for a little bit extra time, you know, is worth it. It's really worth it, especially for camera lenses. Getting that wider aperture for something like this lens, totally worth it. 100%. The payoff is ridiculous. Hopefully, and I brought two lenses with me today so that I can kind of showcase the difference between the lenses. Hopefully get some side-by-side comparison photos for you guys. But yeah, so I'm gonna just take you guys on a ride with me, I guess. So one thing that I did really want to talk about in regards to this lens is how absolutely massive it is. This thing is, I mean, it's hard to tell by just me holding it in my hand, but it is huge. It is a huge, bulky lens. It is heavy, and I know that that can sound like a negative, but in this case, it's very justified because of how amazing the lens actually is. And I don't know if you're, you know, familiar with Canon's series, like Canon's line of lenses and Sigma's different line of lenses, but they both have their own versions of the 85mm in around the 1.4 range. But this is Sigma's Art series, so it's much bigger, much heavier than their previous one, and it just blows everything else out of the water, absolutely. Okay, so just so that you guys can get an idea of how big this lens is, I'm gonna try and give you some up close shots of it. So right here, this is without like the lens hood or anything, this is just the lens by itself. You can see this thing is, I mean, it's as big as my hand. It's literally as big as my hand, and it's about 2 pounds. So for a camera lens, it's extremely heavy, but the build quality on it, it's Sigma's machined plastic. It feels like metal. It's really, really high quality, but it's a big lens. It's a big, beefy lens, which you kind of expect from a 1.4 prime. Like, this thing is, it's almost as heavy as my camera itself. So it's like carrying around 2 cameras at the same time in your hand. If I was to throw this at somebody, they'd be dead, like immediately. This thing is it is strong. Okay, so now to get into the things that people actually care about. How good is this lens for stuff like photo and video? So right now I'm recording on my 16-35 just because I'm, you know, kind of doing this vlogging style of holding it in front of me, and I obviously can't use an 85mm for that. So I'm gonna try and find a spot somewhere that I can set up, take a couple of photos, give you guys a side-by-side comparison just so that, you know, you can see how this lens stacks up in terms of photo. Okay, so I stopped in this spot right here, and I don't know if you guys can see, but there's like a water fountain right here, right behind me, and I'm gonna try and get some photographs of my shoes on them and give you guys a side-by-side comparison of what that looks like. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna use the 85 millimeter, and I'm gonna compare it with the 24 to 105. I'm gonna shoot both of them at about the same range, and then at the lowest apertures that they can go. And the photos that you guys are gonna see are gonna be the raw, unedited photos, so that you guys can get, you know, a real idea of how different these two lenses are. So just so you guys know, I won't edit any of them, I won't alter them in any way, but put my shoes up here, let's see what we can do. Okay, so hopefully you guys were able to tell a difference in those two photos. I know I am, and for me that's a huge difference in photo quality. Huge difference. You can the 1.4 it's just absolutely amazing for that, getting that bokeh effect, that super creamy background that everybody's after. And you know, the 85 millimeter is highly regarded as like the best portrait lens for obvious reasons. If that's your subject and your entire background is so completely blurred out and just creamy and rich in the background, it makes for some amazing portrait shots. All right, let's go get my shoes. Alright, welcome to the second photo spot with my trusty dog poop bags. So, let's get our second photo comparison right here real quick. Just knock it out. Alright guys, last but certainly not least, we just have a really simple shot of my one wheel right here. One Wheel, if you wanna sponsor me for this free photo shoot that I'm doing for you guys, you know I love your stuff. I'm just kidding. I wish. But so One Wheel right here, last photo comparison before we jump into some video. But I actually just got a text from one of my friends saying that we might be going downtown tonight. So if that is the case, I will bring you along with us, and hopefully we can get a little bit of a taste of the night performance of this lens, which will perform really well because of how wide the aperture can get. I don't even think I'll be able to do comparisons just because the other lenses can't even compete in that area. But let me check the time really quick. All right, so he wants to leave in an hour. I think we can do that. What's up?
You got the stuff, right?
The vlog squad.
The vlog squad. Yeah, I didn't know
It's
we were David Dobrik, huh?
It's the Walmart. It's the great value. Here's your mic.
Oh shoot, thanks.
Try it.
It's the Walmart David Dobrik, eh?
No, it's the great value. We're the great value.
The great value.
The
okay.
Albertsons brand.
The Albertsons brand. I don't even shop at Albertsons because
We're not good enough to be Ralph's, but we can be Albertsons.
honestly, I vibe with that. Okay. Hold on. Let me get some B-roll with that. Actually, so I'm gonna do this.
This guy. So extra. Alright, so James, he you guys have seen him before. He's been in one of my other videos. We did the B-roll challenge together. I think he shoots on the M5 Canon I don't know. Some smaller camera. It's not as big as mine, so it's like a vlog. It's like a real vlogging camera. Anyways, so I just gave him my old microphone and he's testing it out. So go check his video out. Go check his video out whenever it posts. Let him know how the audio is. Tell him to buy it from me so that I can make that dough. Get that bag. get some bread, obtain the grain, achieve the wheat. So our plan today is to head down to LA to a place called Echo Park. I don't think we're gonna make it there by sunset, being as the sun is essentially already set, but that is the goal. And if not, I'm gonna try and use that 85mm to get some really nice night photography shots. Try and get those lights like super bokeh and like creamy in the background. We'll see how it turns out, but it should be interesting. I've never been there. Hopefully we can find it. If not, we will probably die. Also, I think his plan is to go through this car wash right here. This is a brand new gas station, so welcome to the brand new gas station where we live, but there's supposedly a car wash right here, and it's like $3. I have never been here. He has never been here. It is our first time.
Alright, so we're gonna go through the car wash real quick, alright?
That's what I was just explaining.
Oh, well, now
Before you rudely interrupted me.
Okay, well, now I just explained it, so,
Alright, so just as an update, I haven't been vlogging very much of like this night trip because we're in downtown LA, and you know, walking around with a big camera with a big microphone on top of it isn't necessarily the most discreet thing that I could possibly do. So in order to minimize the most attention, I had to put the camera away for a little bit while walking around in a little bit less safe areas. But we tried to take a couple of photos in the middle of the street with the 85mm. They came out really nice because the street lights, the background had a really nice bokeh effect with the street lights and everything. And so now we're trying to head a little bit outside of the city. Hopefully we can get to a really cool spot with a view of the skyline. That is our goal now, to try and get a couple more photos. And hopefully I will be able to keep you guys updated a little bit more as we continue. But if I don't vlog very much from here on out, it's because I'm trying not to draw too much attention to us. Alright, so we are here at the Griffith Observatory, which is like this really famous outlook spot that you can see over the entire city of LA. And it's not exactly the skyline that I was picturing, but it is still really, really amazing. And I'm hoping that I can get some good photos here with my, because of that 1.4 aperture. So we are going to try it nonetheless. Wish me luck, because if these come out great, they will be pretty awesome. But if not, we tried, right? That's all I can say.
Alright, so James is getting ready to do his vlog, making his hair look nice and pretty. That sounds gay. I'm gonna just say making himself look handsome.
Alright, anyways, so essentially the second that I stepped out of the car to take pictures, cops like drove past us telling everybody to get out because the park is closed. So long story short, park is closed. Second we got here, we have to leave. So it's kind of a bust.
We'll come back another day.
Yeah, we'll try and come back another day for an attempt number 2, but as for today, just not the move. Just wasn't gonna happen. Kind of a bummer, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I'm gonna insert that.